Greetings everyone, this is Jessica Gable here, aka the Adventurjess. I'm coming to you live, well, almost live, I feel alive, from the wilds of Alaska. I am here to tell you about some of my favorite Buffalo Wool Company products. So first, a little backstory. I actually came to know Ron and Teresa. I met them last summer out in Lake Clark National Park. I'm a guide out there, and they came out for the day. They were on my boat, showed them some bears, talked their ears off about all my adventures, both in the past and in the present and in the future. And being the super sweet and down-to-earth people that they are, they liked my story and they wanted to outfit me with some gear that I could test out in my real life outdoorsy extreme weather adventure situations. All right, here we are. We're racing. It's the 440. Just left Norvik and we are on our way. Norvik was my first checkpoint. We're now in this beautiful portage area. I think I'm in last place again. I'm not sure, but that's all part of the experience. And I guess if I'm gonna get in last place anyways, I might as well just take my time and enjoy it. Oh God. Well, that was a hill. That was scary. I almost ate gravel there. I can laugh about it now, I suppose. How do I look? Do I look like I've not slept? What's good? We're here, we're resting, and I'm racing a race. So they sent me a small variety of products. I've been testing out this gear all last summer and through the winter. I was just going to do a video on my top most used products. Product number 1. The adventure hats. So, why do I love it? Aside from it making me look incredibly cool and knowledgeable and adventurous, it also keeps my head warm and very dry. I have gone hiking and guiding in this thing. It keeps the rain out of my eyes and it keeps my head warm. So yeah, definitely, and this has always been my signature guide look. Number 2. You guessed it, the Extreme Bison Gear fingerless mittens. So these gloves, I lived in them all last winter. I was up in Kotzebue, Alaska, which is above the Arctic Circle, and I was working for a racing kennel up there and training and running sled dogs. They kept my hands super warm, and I just love them because I'm the kind of person I need just that dexterity in my fingers, because very oftentimes you have to do those fine motor movements. These gloves allowed me to do that without freezing my entire hand off. And what I would actually do is I'd keep these on all the time, and then I'd put a bigger mitten on over it, and then it was just like extra toasty. Another little hack I did on those especially cold days is I would keep a hand warmer, just stick it up in there. That way, because oftentimes if you just put a hand warmer in a mitten, if you have to take off your mitten, boom, there goes your hand warmer. These actually held them really nice, and then when I was doing those fine little whatever, when it was negative 20 outside, my hands weren't all exposed. Now they do also offer the fingerless glove with the mitt. I did not have these while I was up mushing this last winter. I used these a lot this summer in more wet, cooler environments out on the lake. It was actually surprisingly windproof. driving the boat around, I would have these on, and then if I needed to get out my binoculars or unzip a zipper, I could do that. The thumb isn't exposed, but you still get a pretty good range of motion with just these fingers. There's a nice little button on the back. The fabric's almost heavy enough. I never really had to button them. They kind of just stay in place. Yeah. So when I was up north, I tended to not really use this hat as much. I switched over to the knitted hat, felt in headband. The felt headband is definitely a necessity. Cute. The thing I really like about this hat is, aside from it being really cute, so warm. It doesn't have felt all the way around the top, so I felt like my head could really breathe, and it wicked that moisture away. Because in a lot of adventuring situations, you go from maybe not sweating that much to all of a sudden sweating a lot. You have to stay warm and dry, and this hat definitely does that.
So the next item I was going to talk about was the Advantage Trekker Bison Merino boot socks. However, upon returning home, I realized the only video that was captured was me just messing around, and it didn't capture my little spiel about the sock. So I'm just going to have to give you my auditory review. These socks really went through the ultimate test as far as I'm concerned, in that they were on my feet for the entire duration of my 440-mile sled dog race. The only time they came off of my feet was when I was taking short little breaks.
All right, doggies are fed, so gotta wait an hour. So I'm gonna take a 30-minute snooze here on my sled, just like a true musher. Other than that, these socks stayed on my feet the entire race. I did not switch them out at any point with any other sock, and they really kept my feet nice and dry. And last but certainly not least, I did use this on the Kobuk 440, but I found it was a little, let's just say maybe for the most extreme adventure things, I wouldn't use it, but I'll explain why. So this is the super soft Buffalo Wool Company neck gaiter. This is still one of my favorite items, maybe not so much for my adventuring, but just general everyday use. I actually use this quite a bit. So this, compared to the socks and the gloves, this is just insanely soft. It's so soft. It's comparable to the Alaskan Quivute. It's so soft, and it's very, very warm. I did wear this on the Kobuk 440, but I found it was just not quite tight enough to really fit snug around my face. I kind of had to tuck it in, and then my breath really condensed on it and kind of got wet and frozen. But I use this almost every day in just my regular life. Adventurers have to go to the grocery store too. I cannot express just how soft it is. This is still one of my favorite top picks, just because I use it a crap ton. All right, well, that is my honest Range Roamer review. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you, Ron and Teresa, for the awesome products. Check them out, buffalowoolcompany.com. I hope you guys will go and check out some of these items if you're thinking about staying warm and cozy this winter. These will certainly do the trick. I've only tried out a handful of things. There's tons more stuff on there, and they're very well made in the USA. Really awesome, hardworking, down-to-earth people. So what's not to love? Check them out, buffalowoolcompany.com. They didn't pay me to do this, by the way. Did not. No.